Good morning and welcome to Uluru. Well, first I'm going to show you how to get there fast. Click on the cloche, and then if you scroll this at the bottom and watch for the Sydney Opera House, click on that, click on the name, and you go right there. Scrolling takes a long time, and you don't always have a friend that's in the room, so I found that's the fastest. I'm going to play a chest. So I usually join after 4 balls have dropped. Somewhere between 4 and 6 I find is good. And I have 2 all-times-2 power-ups. So we'll see how the game goes with the power-up, and then I'll play a couple without the power-up. So the way I do it is, obviously I have hints on, so I watch for flashing squares where there's something already on that square. So like this one already had a chest. That way when the next power up, which currently is fortune cookie, when that drops, it can drop on spots that are already flashing. Oh, there we go. And then we have some fortune cookies to daub. Unfortunately, when you have flashing squares, they can get daubed by catch-ups. So that's the only negative to this way of doing it. And then like sometimes I get bored, so I'll do a couple of the blank ones. But I try to wait. The thing is, once the countdown starts, you only have so much time, and you don't want to have so many squares to daub that you don't have time to do them all. So, whoop. And also these ones for Uluru, the ones on the side here, when they come up, they take out a number, not necessarily the number that is called. So that can also take out some of your flashing ones. So that's like the only downside, I think. So now we've got XP times 2. What I definitely want to make sure is, as it gets really close to the end, I want to make, and I haven't gotten my all times 2 yet, I want to make sure that at least one of these cards has, you want to make sure that the all times 2 has a flashing square to land on. So, like this card is good right now because there's 3 flashing squares and only 2 non-flashing open squares. And then same with this card. This card is all flashing squares, so I can sacrifice some of these to make it go a little faster, especially as the bingos go down. I want to make sure that lands, and there we go. So now I can try to get as many cards as I can down to 2 and use that at the last second to get bingos. So it kind of goes fast at the end. You really have to watch how many bingos are left, and if you hold off making bingos, then your bingos are not counting towards the end of the game. So that's helpful. So that was 16 balls because I have chest on. This is very annoying. So now I have time before the next game starts. Sometimes in between games I'll play a side game, because I do like to not have to daub the first couple, but won't do that today. So this game I should also have an all times 2 come up, because I have them and don't have to pay for them a la carte. At the beginning, I'm just kind of getting my power-ups, since we've got plenty of squares to go. If my next power up is going to take out some squares, I'm more likely to just kind of play as normal, because I don't necessarily want to lose a flashing square to auto daubs. But now I have the all-time 2 coming up, which is my favorite. So I'm going to leave 17 flashing down here. I'm going to leave this one flashing. I'm going to wait to daub anything until we get a space that's already taken. So I'm going to daub this one and this one. I don't know why, but sometimes when one of these auto comes up, it will make the power up go further, but I never know why. So I don't count on those if I can help it. Sometimes it's nice towards the end. So now, right now we don't have any guarantees that this is going to fall on a flashing, because we have open squares that haven't been called yet. But I think this card might be good, because we only have 2 open squares not flashing. Oh, that was good. One thing I don't like about the potion bottle side game is the graphic in the background for getting bottles is very light, so sometimes it's hard to tell that it's there. And I think when you get a chip, it only drops 1, even if you have multiple cards. Yeah, like I only just got this one, which is very annoying. Okay, so my next power up I have to pay for, this a la carte here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to get all these down to 2 if possible, so I can get at least 1 guaranteed bingo, 2 guaranteed bingos, and we're looking at the end of the game. So I got 2 bingos and I cleared all the balls. So let's see how many balls we get. I didn't count. 20. That's good. That's usually my normal. 16 on the last game was a little low. Okay. So while we wait for the next game to start, let me just look at my power-ups. So this is what mine usually looks like. unfortunately paying a la carte for instant bingo and double win, as they call them here, because I'm at 0. The rest of them are fine though, so I should get at least one of each before it starts asking me to pay. Oop. Okay, so this is an example of a game without having the ×2 power-ups in your bank. So I want to get through as many power-ups as I can, as fast as I can, so that I can get that all ×2 before the game ends. I do still like to leave some flashing. Blue had said she leaves them flashing just on one card. So maybe I'll use this card in the bottom right-hand corner for that, and see how that technique works. Doesn't make sense to leave them flashing if they're already marked with something though. So let's see how many power-ups we can get through. 52, 9, no 59, no 61, come on. 58. So if this is where the bottle is on this 58 here, and it's very light, hard to see, so that's a little bit annoying. That's what I was talking about before. Chest again. I think this is the second time I've gotten chest. They seem to have changed how the power-ups come, like rotate through, but I haven't really noticed a good pattern. I have gotten catch-ups like twice in a row, so I know they changed something because that didn't used to happen. But you do get your the ones you're paying for last. So we just hope that we get all ×2 before we get the chef's hat. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I don't have either of those right now. Oh, we get the chef's hat first, which sucks, because I could use that to win. And it's going to take out some on this card when I buy it here. Whoop. Not having good luck with the all ×2 coming up. And bingos have started disappearing, so, or counting down. So I got to keep an eye on that. Might not have any bingos this game. Come on, let me do one of those. Can I get it? Nope. Didn't have enough dubs to clear that out. So even if I had done them at the time they started flashing, it still wouldn't have been enough. So that's a bummer. Only getting 5 balls this game. It happens sometimes. But I'm going to do one more game on this recording with this situation and see if we have better luck. So I still don't have any all ×2 or chef's hats. Oh, yay, won that. I don't know why I got so many stars. 30. Okay. Okay, so we're playing 4 last cards here for this video. I think I said earlier, I still don't have any chef's hats or all times 2. So hopefully we get those early in the game to pay for. I'm going to leave everything flashing just on this one card in the bottom so that those have a place to land. So that's trying blue's technique there with just not touching one card. Because I want to get as many dubs in as possible to get through the power-ups. It's nice when these numbers actually show up. Sometimes you won't get any of them in one game, and then I get really annoyed. Let's get this XP times 2. $59. I forgot to notice how many bingos we started out with, but I think this started counting down already. You know how many, because you can rewind, but I can't. Okay, excellent. So we got all times 2 before we got the chef's hat, so that's a great scenario. Now, even if these all start flashing up here, even if I have a card that I can clear, I don't want to, because that'll end the game sooner. Even if it's just one bigger bingo sooner, it can be a big help. Oh, we're close. I'm going to clear that so this will fall out just as long. So it could have fallen here and we would have been screwed. So let's see if we can get this a little closer. No, we're not getting bingos, but we only have one ball that we missed, and we got the times 2. So that's all what I really care about when I'm trying to get balls. So hopefully that shows you a little bit about, see, we got 24. It's pretty good. So hopefully that shows you a little bit about what we're talking about, how to play Uluru and get big balls. So I could play, games last about 5 minutes, and I could play quite a few games